And it's got to be tight. It's got to be tight. You can't have anything that's loose in this thing. And you got to maneuver this without damaging it in any way. Now that's nice. It still could be tighter. And yes, it's definitely worth spending the extra time doing that. Okay, so there's a little element with a green bead in it. If I made 2 of these, it would be earrings, could be. But I could also make 3 or 4 or 5 of these in different lengths. See, some with 1 bead, some with 2, some with 3 beads, one with different colors. I could put different colors together with these things and drape them, drop them all from 2 earring loops, from 2 hooped earrings, for instance. I could make some hooped earrings and just drop these from them as dependents, you see. I can make this into a little tiny pendant. I can make it into something which is a multi. I can take this and combine it with something else and make it into a jointed piece, a piece that has articulation, it's called. All of that is possible with this simple kit, which is I'm making that available. It's what the sampler kits are $100. There is an abbreviated sampler at $25 if you. Or 50 is it? Yeah, we have 25, 50. Can't have 25, 50, 100, $200. The more you get, the more you buy at the same time, the cheaper it gets for you. The cheaper it is. I'm ordering as we go, but keep in mind that these cannot be reordered. They only come in once or twice a year. So we may be waiting as long as 6 to 8 months before we see those again. So be aware of that. So the next time you get beads, you'll be graduating immediately to the intermediate level of beads, which is the more expensive and better beads. And I think you'll be happy doing that. But I do want you to experience what it is to have beads at your disposal that are all, just so cheap you can just blow this stuff out the door and, charge $5 for a pair of earrings and still make money. I think that's kind of fun. You can still make some money at $5. You can make money at $2 by selling this little item here. These guys here just sell this for $2. This little thing for $2. And it goes on a chain. It fits on a chain. And get 2 the same color, and then you give one to your special friend and one for yourself. So now, if you wanted to do it, you could use an emo in place of the wood. If you want to go there, I'll help you do that. Or you might use both. I do recommend that you learn with the wood how to fit these things in, because the emos can break. If you put too much pressure on them, they will break. The wood beads are very forgiving and very cheap and really fun to work with, as I said. And you have just so many different things. Somebody was asking, well, how many different variations can you make from these things? The answer is, there are about 10, maybe around 10 different kinds of beads, and they all intermix. So it's just a question of your imagination, how far you want to go with that.
But they will fall into molecular patterns. A bead with two caps, that's a kind of molecule, sort of like an H2O, and you'll see it pop up in a lot of the designs.
Yeah, that's right.
Two tubes with a little spherical bead in between them is another molecular unit.
Configuration, yeah. Yeah.
Now,
pulses are very important, as you pointed out.
There's a underlying assumption when you were talking about them cutting the wires the same length.
Yeah.
They have to be consistent and disciplined in their loop forming. Otherwise, it's pointless to cut the wires to the same length, because if their loops are all over the place in terms of size, one time it's an inch, another time it's a 1/16 of an inch.
The ideal size of the loop, what I was going to do was work out a kit, like a learning kit, and I'd put in an ideal loop for you. I'd add one loop like this. That's an ideal loop. This is an ideal loop, see? So I will send that. What I'll do is I'll send you a sample loop and a sample element. So I'll send those both in a separate baggie, and that goes with your kit. That goes with the sampler kit. You get some samples, so you'll see the correct size and shape to make your loop. And if your loop is anything other than this size and shape, it's wrong. It's just dead wrong. And you will not see a whole lot of variation. Here's a bracelet. And if you look at these loops, you'll see that every one of these loops is within limits, pretty much a duplicate of the other. They're just regular as can be, predictable as can be, and they have to be. You've got to achieve predictability. You have to achieve it. In order to get mastery, if you want to master the metal, you must achieve it by actual mastery.
And predictability comes from consistency, and consistency comes from discipline.
And discipline comes from the heart.
And it's simple things. How you hold the pliers. There's no need for that to be wibbly and wobbly. You just hold the pliers a way. Now that may change depending on the size wire you're working with. There will be modification, but it's not like every time you pick up the pliers, you've never gripped them before.
No, there's. I'm sure you've heard the expression. It's a whole new day for him or her. You know what I mean? They come to work, and for them it's a whole new day. It's a whole new thing. They have to relearn the trade from scratch every day they show up for work. I mean, that is really not mastery. To have to relearn every single thing every single day, that's not mastery. You need to have consistency, serious consistency, really reliable consistency. So, and those of you who ordered the emo beads, I have an order placed, and I'm going to talk to Steve on Monday, I hope, on Monday, and then we'll confirm the order and have it shipped. It should be here by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at the latest. And then I'll be ready to ship that out the next Monday. The metal beads, what I can do, because there are people who want to get to work on those metal beads right away. So what I can do is I can ship out as I get them made, I'll just, in other words, I'll make up an order and then ship it out. Make up an order and ship it out. So that way I'll stay kind of with it. And as I said, we should have those things finished sorting hopefully by today or tonight. We'll have them finished. We have 3 people sorting right now. And there's an awful lot to go through, and you have to pick out the bad ones, as I said. Plus, you have to recognize the different findings, and they are slightly different, very different in some cases. But in some cases, they're hard to tell. So you might find, for instance, you might get what looks like a bag full of large daisies, and there's some small ones in there, some small daisies, a few large ones in there, because they're kind of... there's some that are different size. They're not exactly regular. The built beads are regular as can be, and they're very sharply defined and very, very crisp, and very, very expensive. In my opinion, very expensive. When I pay $1 for each part of an element, that's kind of a lot of money. And then on top of that, the bead itself, the main bead. It's true that I have beads that are $450 to $650 per bead. They are. You'd have to find a buyer. I don't think you'd find a buyer anywhere on the planet. But those are the prices. Those are not my prices. Those are market prices for those beads. But it's not a very brisk trade. It's not the kind of thing you'd run around and go, hey, anybody want to buy some $450 beads? No. Not unless they're collectors, they don't. And the people who aren't collectors are not impressed by the fact it's a collectible bead. So what? They just as soon have an emo or a wood bead. I'm honest, it's true. Now, I'm going to make some very fancy collections, necklace collections. I'm going to do some tonight with the wooden beads. I'm going to show you what the wooden beads can do. The power of the wooden bead is what I'm going to call it. The power of the wooden bead. And you will be shocked, surprised, shocked, amazed, astounded, and probably glorified and even maybe beatified as a result of realization that you, for very, very little, for a mere pittance, you can make incredible pieces that you can easily sell on the street or door to door or on eBay or Etsy. And you can earn hundreds and even thousands of dollars a week. It depends on how much traffic you can endure and how much traffic you can stick yourself in front of, and how much they're willing to listen to you. Let's see. The wooden beads. I was going to make those in packages like pretty much the same thing as the metal. $25, $50, $100, $200. Go easy on yourself. Relax. Don't get don't put yourself in any kind of financial hazard. Experiment with these things. Give yourself a little time to learn stuff. You have, the reason I introduce it now and not in September is because if you started in September, you would have not enough time to ramp up for Christmas. But here, now you do. Today you have. What you need to do is spend the next week learning how to make loops. Just how to make a loop. How to cut a wire predictably and reliably. In the next few days anyway. Some of you will be receiving your beads by Wednesday or Thursday, I think. Some by Friday. But sometime next week you'll be getting your metal beads. So don't be impatient. Don't be impatient. It will come. It will happen. In the meantime, I'm going to publish also some all metal, all wire things that you can learn to do, and I'll have videos up for you and all kinds of. Yeah, I want to show those. Let's dig them out.
Now on the emo, you mentioned those who ordered emo. We never actually went into the ordering of it.
Ah, the emo. That's right. We never went into the ordering of it, but there was some people who ordered the broad collar.
Oh yeah.
There were 2 people who wanted the broad collar.
Kits, yeah,
The broad collar kits.
Yeah.
Well, I mean the kits.
Oh, is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't get that.
Emo kits. I'm not going to make those for people. You don't want to pay my price. I'm telling you, you don't want to pay my price. You just don't want to.
But I didn't know if you meant.
That's the other box.
That's not what you were talking about, kids.
Yes, I am. I'm talking about, well, what do you, yeah.
So yeah, we did do that.
The emo beads are exclusive of the metal. They're exclusive of the metal. Now, if you want an actual kit, like the first one here, this is a kit. This comes as a kit. There are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 Roman glass beads. Your option is, do you want 2 more for an earring set or not? You can make a pair of earrings or not, as you wish. So you can have 2 more. That's kind of customizing it. And then there's an emo bead at the bottom. There's a green, normal green emo bead, which looks absolutely incredible anyway with these other beads. It looks amazing. It looks like an ancient bead, but it changes color according to your mood. It's an emo, emotion indicator. It's an emo indicator bead. When that bead is in the green or in the blue, these ancient beads are in their full operating mode. They're the fullest operating factor. They're at the strongest. So how much would that cost? Let's see. Just the beads without the metal. This is, by the way, the higher grade metal in this one. The beads would be $110. That's an awful lot of money. That's an awful lot. But it isn't. It's $10 for an ancient bead. Where in the hell can you find an ancient bead for $10? Okay, so number one. Secondly, it's guaranteed to be ancient. It's guaranteed to be good. Okay, let me have this one over here. This one. This has emo beads and then 2 ancient Roman beads. Emo beads, 2 ancient Roman beads. Emo beads, 2 ancient Roman beads. Total, 2, 4, 6 ancient Roman beads. That's $60. And then $35 for the emos. And then for this special, there's a special cap system on the bottom of it. And that's an extra $5. And then, let's see, 5. Oh, ARG. Yeah, there's extra caps here. Whoa. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. This is without the, I have to work on this a little bit, actually. There's a, 14, so you probably could make that for $110 to $120, something like that, as a kit. You're going to buy it from me at about $650. And this one next. This one's fairly cheap to make. Fairly cheap. You can make this with your kit. These are all the cheaper beads, the cheaper of the copper beads. So your copper sampler kit will make this necklace. And then you need the emos, which is 2, 4, 6 of the smaller beads. You have 5 of the larger beads. 6 of the smaller beads. And by the way, these are matched so that they're both normal blues. They're the same. They're the same normal blues. They do differ. They vary. These don't. These are the same normal blue, even though they're different beads. And they look good together. And they're both nautical. They both have marine kind of feel to them. This is the Atlantis configuration. Let's see how much you could build this thing for. With the clasp, the S clasp. Okay. My guess is about $44, maybe $60 at the most, to make this beautiful piece. And that would sell for $120 just a zip like that. Nobody else in the world has anything like this. Just nobody does. That's the kit. You have to supply the wire. You got to supply the wire. You can't ask me to cut the wire for you. If you can't cut your own wire, you should not be making this unit. This is not for you. You understand, Pippin? This is not for you. Everything you need except the wire is in there. Except I'm not making it, you are. Now I'll make this one first here. Yeah. This one here, wow, this is just, I love this one. This is just gorgeous. This is made with hematite from Sumer, Sumerian hematite from Uruk, the city of Uruk. Yeah, from the city of Uruk, from the Susa of Uruk, as a matter of fact, the high capital point, which is where the temple was. And that's where these come from. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, including the earrings. There's 14 of those. That's $140. Automatically, you're going to pay $10 for a Sumerian bead, a real one. $10. That's fair. And that's what you're going to pay. So how much is that again? 140. Okay. And then, let's see, 150, 60. You probably end up you probably make this for $160, I would guess. You could turn it, my guess is $850 to $1,250. I mean, that's reasonable. And if you put a bracelet on it as well, it probably cost you another $20, $30, something like that, I think, for a bracelet on top of that, and you have yourself one hell of a set. And nobody has anything like it. Nobody. Sumerian and an emo bead, an emo indicator. Come on, ancient and modern together. Okay, now let's look at this. This is all emo bead here, and 2 people ordered this so far, and that's too few. But I may not be able to deliver this very fast. I don't know how fast he can get these out. These are gorgeous Persian style, long biconicals. That's the emo bead down there. And then these are the separators up here. And the separators are a beautiful kind of a puce, really nice, that's picked up off of the bead. This bead is normal in the purple and orange range, which is kind of weird. And it makes for a very nice ghost hunter, ghost finder necklace. If this turns red, orange, or yellow, you're in ghost range. There's somebody within a few meters of you.
So
How much is this? I don't know. I have no idea. Let me see. I can't even estimate. Let me see here.
so you two people who ordered it, you're pretty brave.
I don't know how much it is. I don't even want to guess how much it's going to be, but it won't be much. It won't be much. I'll work it out so it's going to be very inexpensive. Don't worry, because that's a fabulous piece to be walking around with at a fair. Put that on. This one here, there's only one of a kind. I don't know if I can get this again. This is Arizona Blue, undyed Arizona Turquoise. Undyed Arizona Turquoise, the deepest, coolest, most beautiful blue you ever saw. $800 a strand for this stuff. So I don't even know if I can get it again. It is gorgeous. It's drop dead gorgeous. It's with the highest end copper beads that I have. The highest end copper. And just look at it close up, see what it looks like. I think that is super.
So is this piece itself available, or what?
I don't know. I'm going to find out if there's even any availability. I don't know yet. I have no idea what I should charge for it. I have no idea. I don't know. I may have to bring it to Byron and have him do GIAA on it, do a gemologist report on it. It's a fabulous bead. It really is. Those beads are fabulous beads. Those are Stern beads.
It sure is something.
Yeah, and then here we have a tray full of, and I always keep it full to the max so I know if something's missing. Right? And this is a tray full of rings that I've made. I have enough rings to fill trays like this probably 20 times. So if you're interested in rings, I have them. And she's looking to find the tribal because we want to see that stuff there. Yeah, that's tribal, but it's got other things on it. That's what I want to see there, right there. Okay. Excluding these here. Well, that's okay, because in this case, there are some store-boughts, but these are not. There's a set of here, I'll hand you these. You can show these off. These are totally wire. It's all they are is wire. There's no bought beads here. It's just from wire. I'm going to hang these so that you can do these projects. You can try these projects. And I think you'll agree that they're beautiful projects. So here's one of my very favorites right here. Yeah, those are very fun. And here's one where all the beads are homemade, including the spacers. Everything here is homemade from wire. This is so cute. Here you go. Now, let me get this a little bit smaller. There we go. Okay. These here are, there we go. They're misbehaving terrifically on there. Those are fun beads to make. They're very easy. And that is all homemade. Those are all homemades there. See? Those are all homemades. It's made from wire. There's no bought beads there. It's all made from wire. Here's let's see. Here's beads made from just wire. Yeah. Here's beads just from wire. These earrings, just wire. No bought beads. That's my magic bead on there, which has a an interior suspension on it. So it suspends it right in the center through a very cunning little loop there. Does the same thing on this. These do the same. These are a center hang, and you have to know how to make this happen in order to make it go. This is another set of all copper wire, no bought beads. And then here are some with wood. So you can get wild with the wood.
And these are the beads that a lot of them did get, right?
Oh yeah, you got these beads already. Yeah, some of these, here's beads you got already for sure. These are 20 gauge projects, and you got these beads. And you can do all this stuff from what you have already in your hands. You don't need anything extra. This is all made by hand. I made all these things, all these rounds here, are all handmade round beads. They're nothing. All I did was just double, put it up on the screwdriver, like I show you in the video. And I make, instead of making them 8 across, I only make them 2 across. So they make a double. So that's all, almost all of those beads are handmade copper beads. See? That's all handmade copper. It's all homemades. And wood. And people buy that stuff. Boy, do they buy it. I brought some in yesterday to the art class, and I ended up, I didn't sell any rings, I didn't show any rings, but I did sell some of the tribal pieces, and I sold some. I took orders. I didn't actually sell the pieces. I took orders, and now I'm going to deliver those things next Friday. See, and those orders are prepaid. They actually paid me. I didn't even give them anything. They paid me. They trusted me to send them. Well, of course, I knew them. I mean, they know me. And it wasn't for very much. I like to target $35 as a nice trade price, as an opening gambit kind of thing. But let me tell you, in whatever it was, 87, it was a long time ago. I think it was 87, 86, 87, 88, I don't know. I think it was 87 now. Linda Corvo and I took the very first JAL show, Jewels of Ancient Land show, out on the road. We were just in business for about a week at that time. We didn't even have a business license at this point. And we stopped off at a lighting store on Highway 49. We thought it was a cool lighting store. It's a great place, a nice little shopping mall kind of in the middle of nowhere. It was getting like on to Christmas, like about end of September, beginning of October, something like that. And we asked them if we could do a trunk show in their shop, in their lighting store. Lighting store? Do a jewelry show? Yeah. Sure. Go ahead, So we advertised it and promoted it and put some flyers up and passed out some leaflets and stuff. And we had the cheapest price we had was $389. I don't get less than that for my necklaces. And everything was a necklace and earring set at that time. That's all we did was necklace and earring sets. And they were all $389 because that's all we could do at the time, and that's what we did. $389 was the price of everything in that shop. To our total amazement and the amazement of the store owner, who was a friend of ours, she was more amazed. I don't know. I think we were probably more amazed than she. I think so. I mean, we were stunned. We did over $3,000 of business that weekend in a lighting store on Highway 49 in the middle of nowhere. Just nowhere. And what happened is that the word spread. People told other people, and they came. And they were gobbling up our stuff. I mean, we sold 10 pieces in the first 3 or 4 hours, and then we sat there for a while, and then we made a few sales at close. One sale after close, actually. So, and of course, we split with the shop owner. We split 50-50 with the shop owner. She was just delighted. She'd come back anytime. Yeah, God, it's the best day she had in a long time. See, you could walk into a shop and increase their traffic by promoting your show and, of course, their shop at the same time. Now, somebody who does not know you is taking a hell of a chance letting you come into their shop and do kinds of stuff. So you have to kind of work with somebody you do know, because they have to trust you. You know, they have to trust you. Am I supposed to do an art class today? Okay, just checking. Oh, okay, all right. So you have a building class?
Yep.
Okay, building class at 9, and I'm going to be trying to get back into my fencing gear, because I'm going to be demonstrating how you use fencing technique for both holding pliers and at the same time for doing the movements, as it were. Not at the same time necessarily, but it's both things. So I'll have my foils out tomorrow, at least my foils, and if I can get into my fencing outfit, I will do so. And we may have a kendo demonstration as well. I'll see. We'll see what happens. I also have my archery equipment out, and I want to show the archery equipment to folks, because that might be fun for you to explore that. Or more than fun, very productive for you to explore it. The thing about archery that's very nice is it doesn't make a loud sound. I refer you to Red Dawn for details. Red Dawn, it's a movie. What?
Just to mention, like, in terms
Nice.
these are the ones that I think are going to do well.
They're great. That's the skull ones?
Yeah.
Who did those? Eric. Oh, good job. Yes, it's going to go. That's going to be, if it's made properly, that's going to sell for $69.95 anyhow. Made properly, $69.95.
So the way they're made now, what,
35. And hope they don't come back. Pray they don't come back to you.
That's good. It's just that, I think it's
Are those silver or copper? If it's copper, $35. I was thinking it was silver. It's copper. $35 is very fair. No less than 35, however. No less than 35. Not even $34.95. $35.
You were saying how you should do like 100 of them or whatever, and don't put out too much.
Yeah, if you are selling something, don't stop making it. That's not a signal to stop making that. It's a signal to continue making those as long as they sell.
And then not have too much competition against yourself.
Yeah, just and limit the number of things that people see. They don't like a lot of options. Just give them 3 things to look at.
And the other thing about doing the projects that you present, although it's really fun to make up stuff, because in following
Oh,
what you do,
if you follow my procedures and you follow the techniques and you use these techniques properly, they will cause breathing things to occur. They will cause all kinds of internal things to occur. They will cause you to have a quieting of the mind. They will cause you to have a stillness inside, all kinds of things. They'll help you to have some more power over addictions. There's lots of things that you can gain power from this, but you really have to follow the procedures. really, really religiously, as it were. So it is a practice, and the practice is rooted in the projects, not in the product, but the projects themselves. Right now, stay with 16 gauge, and I challenge you to make a pair of these in the next week or so. What I got in my hands here, look. And I'll put these up. I'll put up a bunch of this. These here, or these. Yeah. Either of these pair. I challenge you to make either of these pair, or both of these pair, in the next few days or so while you're waiting for your other stuff to arrive. This is only going to take a roll of 16 gauge wire. That's all you need to make that, and that's all you need to make that. Yeah, 20 for the ear wires, of course. You want to use 20 for the ear wires. So it's just from the hardware store, folks. You don't have to do anything more. And you can make 10 pair of those. 10 pair of those. And it wouldn't hurt you. You understand what I'm saying? It wouldn't hurt to make 10 pair of those things. Here's another pair of earrings I'd love to see you make. And we'll post this up for you also to look at and to make a pair just like that. And then this pair like this, I'd like you to make this as well. Here you go. I want you to make a pair of these. And a pair of these. And we'll post these all up for you guys so you can actually see that one's horizontal and these are verticals here. Sew them together. There you go. One's horizontal, one's vertical. All right. So let's get those up for you. I'll get them up as soon as I can, today, tomorrow. And then you make these over the next week and concentrate on just getting these made. Just doing this, showing mastery of the copper. You need to have copper mastery before you go further. If you can't do this, believe me, 20 gauge is not going to be any easier. It's a lot harder. And it's a lot less forgiving. So work 16 gauge. Don't be afraid of this stuff. And you can incorporate, like here, for instance, you could easily incorporate in this dangles. You could put beads, wooden beads in here galore. There's no problem. Just put them in the dangles above the loop, see? Yeah. That's right, like that, yeah. There you go. Just something like that. See? So if you have some wooden beads, make these things out of it. Let's hang those also. Give her an extra $1. You heard that tone, right? Yeah, those also good examples. All right, so we'll hang these, and you can make these during the next week. That would be great. And get your chops up. Now, those of you who have chops up, I don't have to tell you, you are going to be zooming along so fast, amazingly fast. And if I don't have to teach you all this stuff, if you can pick this up fast on your own, that is incredible. That's the best. However, you want to hold yourself back a little bit from making different designs. And the reason is because although you'll be wanting to make lots of different designs. It's true. Please just try to follow the indications first, then strike out on your own if you wish to. Here's that's too complicated. No, the thing is too complicated for them to make. This one here. Let's see what else. Boy, I've got so much stuff for you to work with. I have beads coming all week long. I have 18-wheelers going to be pulling up here. Seriously, that's what they deliver in these big rigs, 18-wheeler outside, This guy comes out with this little tiny box. This is yours. $3,000 for this little tiny box. That does happen when you're in jewelry. You buy this little tiny thing, you know. I've got a little meteorite. I have a Mars rock. Somebody asked me to get them a Mars rock. So I bought, but finally I got a Mars rock from a friend of mine who has a nice collection of Martian and lunar stuff. And $950 for a piece that you can barely see. But it's got some fusion crust on it that you don't see. It's not a slice. It's actually a fusion crust section of Mars rock. And it's a particular number of Mars rock. That's the Shrigati Mars rock. It's really nice. And it's tiny. So it arrived in the mail. Neat little tiny thing like this, you know. $950, sign here. You know. So, but that's what happens. It gets intense. And my friend Byron was receiving a diamond pack. It was $30,000 diamond pack. And he says, "You want to see it?" I said, "Sure." He opens this thing. It's about 1 inch by 1 inch. And it's got, it's got diamonds in there that are all, they're like quarter-carat diamonds, Holy God, this little tiny package, $30,000. Oh, my God. But that's what happens. You get the same thing with the Rembrandt. There's some Rembrandts. I have one Rembrandt, the Lansdorff family piece, the family Rembrandt. That's a lot of money, and for a little piece of paper, it's amazing. That's been sitting there in my collection for probably 45 years now.
So Eric, his new client owns a jewelry store.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It is. So that's what happens. Coincidence control steps in and does something. God knows what. This is amazing right here. These bracelets cannot be had anywhere. These are mood bracelets, but they are such high grade, high level, that they take it out of the realm of mood and into the realm of high-end jewelry. This is haute couture jewelry here. And you could sell this stuff in Paris. You could put this on high-ticket models, and it would look right. These are kits. These are all kits. You can have these kits now, except that I don't have the beads yet. But you can order them now, and I can order the beads, and then it'll take when I order the beads. From the time I order the beads, it'll take roughly, generally, anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks to get the beads, depending upon whether the beads are available or have to be made or have to be or they're whatever on the docks or whatever it might be. So 2 days to 2 weeks. Allow 2 weeks' time if you want things like this. These things don't just happen instantaneously. It's a different kind of trade than you may be used to. It's not like the way they handle cell phones. Those things, they go out by the millions. They're spewed out like a machine, like that thing. This is not done like that. This is all handmade. And many of the beads that you'll be working with, and the intermediate level especially, are handmade beads. Oh, we've got to go to the building class. All right, let's go. Let's do it. We'll see you guys on this channel. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning. But we'll see you in the ashram for the building class. And where's the building class going to be? At 3200 level? In the usual place, Northwest?
Same place.
Okay. So watch for me. I'll see if I can zip by there for a minute or two.
Okay, everybody could get this behind you. Wave all the way. Mary's on. You could talk to her.
Hey, Mary.
Mike's still on.